Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We've explored basically the rest of Varnhold, and now we're going to be heading out. We've got a couple of quests, companion quests that we can still do. So we've got the Jubilost quest, but we've also got this new quest for Harem to look into some Tuareg paladins, or I guess more specifically Clan Skjeggi, that came to reclaim one of their old fortresses and was attacked by a golem. But first I'm going to check with the Sweet Teeth, which are down here. See if we have found the next place we need to, so that they can go on their next mission. Let's see if you can complete my task. Ooh, I have Lenorm's Grave. The Lenorm's Grave is in terrible condition. Polish all the bones to a shine. Lenorm bones? That's great. Can we take a few as souvenirs? Shame on you. The Baron has trusted you with her bones, and you're not going to steal them. Don't you worry, your grace. We'll take care of your bones. They'll be shiny as new. I mean, it's weird for you to call them my bones. I mean, kind of they are, but it just sounds odd. Grabbing their travel bags, the young tieflings run away. Excellent. Wait until all the Lenorm bones have been polished. I suspect you still don't have anything to say, but I'm hoping once they're done with this mission, things will progress.
I'm there.
Alright, with that, where do I actually... Who do I want to take with me? I think we're going to do Harem's quest, and so I'm not going to bring Lindsay and Jubilost. But I probably will ditch both of you. I want to Mary back. We've run into quite a few barbarians, and I feel silly not having a Mary with me every time we run into a barbarian. I'll also reorganize my team so that she's up front. And then Harem. I could bring Ekendio. It's been a while. Or I could actually just bring Jubilost and Lindsay. But I kind of want to keep bringing Kaliki and Kanera because they are very powerful. Maybe we'll bring Ekendio. Call that good. Just to keep mixing up the team so we get to hear a few new voices whenever we rest. Alright. Do we have some new kingdom stuff going on? I wouldn't think so. No, it's the celebrity visit still. That'll resolve next time we rest. So where is this thing for Harem? That's Jubilost. There we go. Lost Dwarven Fortress. So let's just teleport here to Tatzelford. Can I just click there? Yes. Excellent. Do you want to enter the location? What do we have about it? Between rocky hills hides the entrance to an underground citadel, built centuries ago by dwarves. When its creators fled the Stolen Lands, they sealed its gate for good. We did arrive quickly, so hopefully none of them have died. Well, I don't think that hope was correct. Hi there. Look, look, help has arrived, hurrah! Praise Torag. Ooh, that sounded like a level up.
Let's finish them quick.
Maybe. Valerie. I guess probably not charge, actually, just attack.
Do not falter.
Let's see. Oh, you are gonna die so fast. We can't see any of your stats, but you're already like a third dead. Yeah, that is a level up. The golem freezes. Inside it, something vibrates in harmony, and the dents left by your weapons quickly repair. Aram approaches the metal monster and examines it from head to toe. An invincible idol made of indestructible metal, another proof of our empty pride. Every master wishes to create something that will outlive them, but why? So that their creation will live on a short while before returning to dust with the rest of the universe? Ha! Masters, masters. Harem pulls the key. To his surprise, the whole lock comes out of the golem's body, along with the key. As Harem stands amazed, the monster falls to pieces as if it were made not of the strongest metal in the world, but of rotten wood. Oh wow, adamantine with your bare hands? You're a beast. Spill it. When did you get so strong? Have you been lifting weights at night instead of praying? Hail to Baroness Melandra! Saved! We were so nearly done for. Praise Torag! One of the dwarves, clearly their leader, a gray-haired man with a massive symbol of Torag around his neck, jumps down from the hillock where the dwarves climb to escape the golem. He looks at Harem and what he's done, astounded. How? How did you do it? That's impossible! Impossible! I don't know. I don't. Who are you? Harem, you've broken metal with your bare hands before. Yeah, when he punched the anvil of Torag and it collapsed. Or cracked in half. Which he said was Grotus, helping him destroy, but that's not Grotus's thing. Who are you? The dwarf turns to you and bows ceremoniously. Forgive me, your grace. The surprise made me lose all of my manners. My name is Jarmul Skeggi, Paladin of Torag, and the leader of this group. On behalf of our whole clan, I thank you for your help. Ekin bows to the Paladin. May the Father of Creation never leave you. May he bless you, my son. And you must be Harem, the priest of Grotus. I've heard a lot about you and the unusual path you've taken, and I would like to speak with you. You would like... Well, I wouldn't like to even see you. We have nothing to discuss. This is just what I need. To listen to another sermon about Torag's greatness. The Paladin replies to Harem's indignation with a humble bow. I am not so arrogant as to preach to a priest. Your faith is your choice. I am not one to question it. I only wanted to know more about your spiritual journey. In response, Harem only sniffs with contempt. Harem, you have broken metal with your bare hands before. What? When did that happen, Melandra? Ah, wait, are you talking about the anvil? Yes, I did do that, but why? I asked Grotus what it meant, but received no answer. Harem pensively wraps his beard around his finger. Anyway, are you safe now? Yes, your grace. May Torag bless the soil you walk upon. You saved us. The Skeggi clan is in your debt. Alas, we have no treasure to reward you for your kind aid, but this is only temporary, believe me. When we find a way inside the fortress and recover the legacy of our ancestors, you'll see that no one can accuse the Skeggi clan of stinginess. Harem sneers bitterly. Look at them, Melandra. Here they are, true children of Torag, greedy, conceited, unable to see beyond their own noses. They barely escape death. And there they are, diving into its maw again, blinded by the glitter of imaginary treasures. I contemplated making them leave, but let us allow them to stay and continue what they are doing. If they are in such a hurry to dig their own graves, let us not interfere. Thank you. I see you've no love for your people or our god. No, don't be so quick to frown. I have no wish to preach to you. But I believe you said you broke the unbreakable with your bare hands. Please, tell me about this. I think I have an idea of what power lies within you. The searing palm. Harem's voice sounds dull and lifeless. The magic anvil in the desolate bronze shield fortress, desecrated by trolls. It was destroyed by my fist as if it were made of sand, or wood that had rotted from within, and only waited to be touched to fall to dust. Jarmold pensively holds his hand upon Torag's hammer, which hangs about his neck. Could it be? Jarmold, what are you talking about? What power hides inside Harem? The touch of the Unmaker. This is a rare, very rare gift of the gods. It happens once in a generation. I can't say who grants it. Perhaps Torag, perhaps Grotus. Or perhaps it comes from some other source we know nothing about. It is the power to give death to things which live on beyond their proper time. Ill things created with a flaw, like this golem. Desecrated, like the anvil. The robust creations of dwarven hands that beg for death but must continue to exist. A dwarf blessed by the touch of the Unmaker can put an end to their suffering. Nonsense, I've never heard of this. If Grotus granted me this power, why do I have to find out about it from some paladin of a traitor god? The god of helplessness and cowardice. A gift of the gods. By Grotus, you prove it, or you admit you're lying. Jarmold listens calmly to the stream of insults raining down on him from Harem. When the latter has finally spent his breath, the paladin replies quietly, "Yes, I can prove it." Lore religion check past Harem. His words make sense. Maybe what you thought was Torag's curse was actually a gift from the gods, which your kin simply couldn't understand. Harem winces as if all his teeth started aching at once, but then nods reluctantly. It is possible. But then Torag and his followers are even more stupid and blind than I thought. Just imagine, Melandra, if this is true, the reason for my woe is not a curse, but the simple fact that none of my kin was wise enough to recognize the divine gift. The priest shakes his head and looks at the paladin. You said you can prove your words, Jarmold. I challenge you now. The touch of the Unmaker is not only the power to destroy, he can take the heart from an item. All the love and effort put into it by its maker. By the mercy of Torag, strike the golem once more, complete the unmaking, and show us its heart. He did get a gem from the anvil, I thought. There was some internal stone that came out of the center of the anvil, if I'm remembering correctly. It was a long time ago, and so my memory is really vague. But maybe that's what we're talking about. Harem looks gloomily at the quiet golem, then shrugs and smashes it with his fist. The golem falls to fragments with a pitiful clink. Leaning down to search through the pieces, Harem takes hold of a shimmering blue jewel. He examines it, then turns to you. The priest's face is sad and baffled. There. A gift from Torag, be he damned. So what's next? What do I do with it now? If it's a gift from Torag, then give it to his servant. You owe nothing to anyone, especially to Torag and his servants. I would like to help Harem not convert back to Torag. I don't think that's his path. But at least become more okay with his past. Like less hateful of Torag. Like start mending those bridges a little is my thought of where I hope his storyline goes. So if it's a gift from Torag, then give it to his servant. Harem hands the jewel to Jarmond. Thank you for telling me of my gift, Jarmold, but do not expect it will reconcile me with Torag, or with my people. If you find a way to make good use of it, fine. If not, it doesn't matter. You can keep looking for the entrance, or go back to your mountains, I care not. Jarmold lowers his head. Thank you, Harem. I will make good use of this gift. I am sorry that everything turned out the way it did, but I respect your decision and won't try to convince you. Farewell. Harem turns to you. Gifts from the gods, curses from the gods. I'm starting to think it's the same thing. But thank you for coming here with me. I probably wouldn't even have talked to this Jarmold on my own, but now I have much to contemplate. Let us go, Melandra. Let's leave these Skeggi to do as they will. Can't believe it. Is what Harem always thought was his curse actually a blessing? The touch of the Unmaker, it's called, according to the Paladin of Torag we met, who Harem simply cannot stand. But why should he need this unwelcome gift? What will he do with it? I mean, there's probably more important things in his future that he will need to unmake. Like, presumably... Well, they say once every generation, so I was originally thinking that maybe the gods gave him this blessing slash curse for a purpose. But if they always just have one person chosen, then it's not necessarily a specific purpose they were born to accomplish. So yeah, that was my initial thought, is that we'll surely find what purpose the gods blessed him for.
Follow if you dare.
But no. Cold Iron Dwarven War Axe +3.
For you, in due time.
Did we climb that and there's no reward? Why do you have a skill check that has no reward for doing it? What was the point of that?
I'm good at this.
You are good at that. Alright, nothing really to see around here. Let's see if Jarmold wants to say anything else. Our clan owes you. No. Hail to the Baroness Melandra. Well, I guess that's it for here. I'm wondering if we'd kept the stone, if we could have done something with it. I'm also sort of hoping that because we gave it to them, later on, that will have some result. Like maybe they'll craft something amazing for us. I think we'll head back to our capital and then level everyone up. Oh, also we should probably talk to Harem. See if he's got anything to say about that. Now that we're back home.
I'm off.
Harem pulls his beard, muttering something that could be either prayers or curses. Upon noticing you, he winces. What? Ah, it's you, Melandra. You're not too happy about seeing your kin, are you? Harem fiddles with his beard pensively. Well, it's not as if I'm holding a grudge against the whole dwarven race. In Brevoy, the River Kingdoms, and the Stolen Lands, I'm always rather happy to see one of us. Exiles like me, or those who've left their homeland voluntarily in search of a better life, or even those who were born here and have never seen the mountains. I hold nothing against them. But Skeggi, you see, Melandra, they aren't just dwarves. They are envoys from my homeland and Torag himself. Like everyone who exiled me, who humiliated me, everyone I left behind, all of them have come back to torture me. They carry the spirit of the Five Kings Mountains with them, a spirit that is more nauseating to me than the stench of a corpse. Maybe we should drive these Skeggi back to their mountains? No. So you have the divine gift of the touch of the Unmaker? I've never heard of any such thing, but you saw me with your own eyes. You saw with your own eyes what happened. The Paladin's words had a ring of truth, but what could this mean for me? Who gave me this gift, Torag or Grotus, and for what purpose? What should I do with it? Questions keep rushing into my mind, countless. Everything is so confusing, so strange and inconceivable. Inconceivable! Harem's speech turns into barely understandable mumbling. Well, thanks for the conversation. We'll talk later. Harem nods with dignity. I'll be happy to continue our conversation later. Alright, we're going to start leveling up, everyone, and I will meet you guys back once I've made decisions. Alright, we didn't get a lot of choices for this level. I put a point into Charisma, which doesn't get us up to an even number, so it doesn't do much for us. There were actually a lot of pretty interesting spells, but as a conjuration-focused sorcerer, I decided to go for Chains of Light. It's basically a overpowered paralyzing spell, with the benefit that it's conjuration based, and so we're going to have even higher DCs. So if I need to stop someone specific, like a boss character, it's not a bad call. Reflex save is something to keep in mind as well, versus what is that other like second level spell? I don't remember. There's a similar spell. Hold Person, that's the one that's escaping my mind. Hold Person. It's a similar idea, but it's a wisdom save. Or will save. So, yeah. Different options. But that's our choice for our character. So Ekendio gained Camouflage. Not that critical. Ranger of 12th level or higher can, as a move action, use his stealth skill to hide in any of his favored terrains, even in combat. So, he can just hide every turn, I suppose. Doesn't seem critically important, but there you go. With Canera, there weren't really any amazing options, so she got a new wild talent, and they're all pretty terrible at this point. I've gotten all the best ones, so I gave her Flame Shield. If she's has her Searing Flesh active, then anyone who attacks her takes a bit of fire damage. Well, anyone who attacks her in melee takes a bit of fire damage. Meh. Harem didn't even get to make any choices. He's just a cleric. I got to boost his wisdom up again. I suppose that's something. Part of me thinks maybe I should be focusing on things like strength, because he's not primarily a caster. So making him better in combat might be a better call. Kind of hard to say. But I'm going to keep going on wisdom. It's fine. So with Amiri, I boosted her strength, makes reasonable sense, and then for abilities, she gained a new rage power, and I went with Fearless Rage, making her immune to Shaken and Frightened. She's been frightened a few times, which always is terrible when she runs off mid-combat. So that one's going to be really nice. And then Danger Sense goes up by another point. With Valerie, I gave her Penetrating Strike, so when she's using the weapon of her weapon focus, which in her case is the Bastard Sword, she gets to ignore 5 points of damage reduction. So, could be useful. Jaethal automatically got Greater Bane Weapon, so when she uses Bane, it does more damage to the target of the Bane. She also got a Teamwork feat, and she treats all Teamwork feats as if her allies around her have the feat. So, there weren't really that many good ones left, because I've already given her quite a few. But I chose to go with back-to-back, so she'll get a bonus to her AC if she's being flanked, assuming she has an ally nearby. And then new spell, I went with Greater Invisibility. It's always good to have more people who can cast that. With Octavia, we continued going up the Arcane Trickster pathline. That gives her another sneak attack die, which is going to be pretty powerful. And then spell-wise, I figured Hellfire Ray, because she's all about doing being able to sneak attack with rays. And then did I choose Chains of Light? That's not what I was thinking. I think that was a misclick. I was wanting Chain Lightning. There we go. I was like, what was I trying to click on? Yeah, Chain Lightning, just another combat spell, just in case, but I think Hellfire Ray is going to be the more common choice for her. With Reg, we've continued going down the Dragon Disciple tree. I don't know if I'm going to take it all the way to level 10, but there is some cool stuff you get the farther you go into it, so maybe. He gains Blind Sense automatically, so out to 25 feet, which is pretty cool. And then as for his feats, there wasn't a lot that called out to me. Like Blind Fight seems like an odd choice on the same level that he gets Blind Sense. Improved Initiative is nice, but I went with Metamagic Quicken Spell. I don't know much about Metamagic. I don't really use it, It's probably something I should look into more. But yeah, he'll get the ability to quicken spells, I guess. Alright, with Knock Knock, I went with obviously more dex and then Crippling Strike. Whenever an opponent is damaged by one of their sneak attacks, they will also take 2 additional points of strength damage. And that seems pretty powerful. With Kaliki, I gave her Kinetic Revivification. Finally, she got a wild talent that I actually thought was pretty powerful. So this one allows her to bring people back to life within 2 rounds. And that could be very useful. With Jubilost, I gave him Cursed Bomb, which allows him to use bombs that cause a will save or various pretty impressive curses. Like causing Curse of Idiocy, causing all the subjects in the bomb blast to suffer a -6 penalty to Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma scores. That would be crazy. It doesn't say anything about it losing the normal damage of the bomb, but I'm guessing it does. Otherwise, those bombs would be really incredible. And then for a new spell, I gave him Stone Scale. Probably not to use on himself, but he can give it to one of his allies because he's got the infusion talent, discovery, that's the word. Christian didn't really get any choices. I boosted his wisdom because he is primarily a caster. That's it. Lindsay gained Soothing Performance, which seems like it allows her to cast Cure Serious Wounds using rounds of her Bardic Performance rather than spell slots, which is an interesting, or Mass Cure Serious Wounds, which is interesting. Yeah. And then Dominate Person is a spell. I haven't yet given her the spell focus enchantment, but I keep thinking that I want to. So that would help towards that. And that is the whole team fully leveled up. We're going to end it here. And I think next time we will probably head out with Jubilost and Lindsay to deal with Jubilost's quest. For now, though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.